what the trans suicide rate for trans men is. I know females it's pretty high, but
I don't know what do you mean? What do you mean by like trans men and trans women? Do you mean because
a trans man is a biological female who presents
okay,
as a
so
male.
someone who was born as a woman and is transitioning to a man, that's the group who the suicide rate is really high for?
Oh, the trans women have a really high suicide
Oh,
rate.
so what? So people who were born as men and are transitioning to women.
I believe so. I'm not sure how.
Okay.
I think the
Okay.
trans.
That would make sense. That would make sense also because if I understand correctly, I think most trans people are those who were born as men and are transitioning to women.
Yeah, so we're talking about trans women. They're born as men. Trans men are born as women.
Okay.
And I believe it's. I don't know if this is true, but it seems like the ostracization mainly falls on trans women. Like when we
Yeah.
hear about people complaining, it's always the men who transition to women. I don't ever hear that many stories about the persecution of women transitioning to men. But
Yeah,
I would
that's true.
assume, yeah, because I'm just trying to think as a man, and if I had a trans woman or a trans man like in a work group and they're like acting like a dude, I don't think I'd mind. Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't bother me at all. Like, and I can't say that what would happen in a female group. I don't know what the dynamics would be with a trans man, or I'm sorry, a
Yeah.
trans woman amongst a group of females. Because it seems like
Yeah.
female interaction in groups is a lot different than how men interact in groups. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And it's like that I obviously have no problem too because I even I think I talked with you and I've talked with a few other people before about how actually through learning about postmodernism and reading Foucault's history of sexuality and watching podcasts with people like Thaddeus Russell talking about gender led me to sexually experiment with trans people. And the and an interesting aspect of that too is like some people are okay, like sexuality is on a scale, right? On a spectrum, right? Yeah, like there are some people who I think are attracted to trans women but not trans men and vice versa, like
Mm-hmm.
the or some people are attracted to both, and that's interesting because of what you would think in terms of how that affects how but how much closer to being lesbian or gay someone is on that kind of scale. For example, if someone is attracted to trans women but not trans men, does that mean they might be closer to being gay than straight also?
I have no
This is why
idea.
sexuality is such a fascinating subject to me because there's so many people have such different preferences and just sexualities in terms of the way they were born too.
Yeah, it is weird because I know Caitlyn Jenner prefers women.
Yeah, that's interesting. So she transitioned and then now she's basically living life as a lesbian.
I guess you would consider that a lesbian if it's woman and woman. I don't know how he would or she would say call that relationship.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
not
know.
super Like, I don't know
She did. She
how
did
that
get.
works.
Did she get the gender reassignment surgery?
I don't think so. I'm not entirely
Oh,
sure.
okay. Oh, if she didn't, then that's interesting too, because it's like she's living life as if she were in a lesbian relationship, really, but biologically speaking, because she hasn't transitioned, she's still just more of a, like, it's more of a trans woman being with a cis woman, I guess, is the way that, the most charitable way to put it.
Yeah, if he was going to be with women, I would see zero benefit to chopping off your wang.
Yeah.
Um, none. There's really none. So, yeah, I don't think if he would chop off his wang, as
Yeah.
Johnson, aka it's Peter,
Do you think that,
or
like, do you think that, since the since she transitioned, though, that she might, she might not want to use her dick sexually anyway, even if she's in a relationship with a woman?
well, why not? Because once
Well,
you, I
because,
don't know, because once
like,
you
if
get
you're for
transformed, like
if if you
I think your
transition, though,
sensation goes away, doesn't it?
if you transition without getting rid of your dick, though, I think that if you're a trans woman, you still kind of, like, you don't want to have a dick, so you might not want to do anything with it sexually. But I guess that depends on the person too, because I think there are probably, like, oh yeah, there definitely are there are bound to be people who are into, like, doing things with trans women's dicks. I bet there's like a whole fucking porn genre about that.
Well, you've seen like all these different scandals of like celebrities getting caught with trans women.
Oh,
So you
really?
know yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eddie Murphy, I think, was caught with a trans woman.
Oh, really?
Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, there are a bunch of like celebrities. I think what's that guy? Hugh Grant
Oh,
was
wow.
caught with a trans woman.
Oh, okay.